So in this video, I wanted to take a look at a very cool, very approachable vintage pen, and that is this, the Zebra Sharbo SB-S. What this is a multi-pen, so it's a 1+1, a pen and a pencil, or a pencil and a pen, got that reversed. From the 70s and 80s, Zebra made this design, and I don't have a perfect understanding of the history. It's not as well documented as you may think, but I'll run through some of the basics as I understand them, and if you know any better, please drop a comment below. I'm sure I'm going to have some gaps and misconceptions here. So this is a pen from Zebra. It's the Sharbo line, which is their line of multi-pens. It still is, which is very cool. And this model, I believe, is called the SB-S. This unit in particular has this pattern here. See how well we can pick it up. And it's a grid pattern, sometimes called a lattice, depending on who's describing it. But it's basically an etched grid in the steel. Very cool, very classy. And these sort of grids were popular on pens from Pilot and Zebra and Pentel and a few other manufacturers in the 70s and 80s. You don't really see them too much anymore, except maybe on like the Space Pen. And it's just a really nice detail. It looks incredibly cool. It adds a nice texture to the pen. It doesn't really help so much with the grip, but you can just very subtly feel it. It's just really classy, and it kind of shows how these pens were, or pens in particular, were more nicely manufactured back then. Other highlights include a little bit of lacquer work right up here on the cap and right here on the band. You can see that's not plastic, that is like a lacquer that's been baked on there. Zebra says it right there. Japan, a little hard to pick up. And then a nice thing to look for on any vintage pen is this sticker, any vintage Japanese pen. And almost all of them were shipped with a sticker like this. The sticker would usually have a price on it, maybe 1,000 yen, or 2,000 yen if it's a nicer pen. And if this sticker is nothing on it, it's just a sticker, that means your pen has seen a fair bit of use because the writing has been worn off. If there's no sticker, that's usually not a great sign from a value standpoint, but it won't affect the pen itself, just if you're using it for a writing instrument. Back to the Sharbo. It's very simple. You twist, you get your mechanical pencil. It's a 0.5 millimeter. You push it like normal. The lead goes out. Twist it the other way, and you get your refill. One of the nice things about this pen, even though it's probably made in the early 80s or late 70s, so it's over 30 years old, it still uses a D1 style refill. So if we were to give it a little twist, everything comes apart. It's just a friction fit, and you could see here that despite this being an old and a friction fit, the chrome here is still perfect. So this one is in better condition. And we see here it's a standard twist style selection mechanism, just like you would see on any newer pen. And then we see here the standard D1 refill. Zebra calls this the 4C refill generally, and they're still made today. So you don't have to worry about getting a specialty refill. You can go out and buy a $2 D1 refill and just pop it in here, and you have a 30-year-old pen with a brand new refill. And technology and ballpoints and D1s and all has definitely changed since then. So put this back. And then not too much else to see. It's a really nice slide action, but I don't want to get too much into this pen in particular because I don't know if there's a lot of, how easy it will be to find one of these. And I did a quick scan of eBay, and I definitely know that some Sharbos are available if you want to get into vintage pens. This is a nice starting point, and you can get them for under $30 if you hunt around, and then under $100 if you're looking for like an exact name search from a really high quality seller, like someone that knows what they're doing and they really specialize in vintage pens. You're going to pay more, but you're going to get obviously a nicer pen. There is an eraser here. This one was sold with the original eraser, which I guess if you're super into these things, it'd be helpful or, cool. For me, it didn't really matter. And then you would just pull the eraser out to refill it. This one does not have a cleaning rod. Unfortunately, that's a nice sign from kind of that back in the day. A lot of erasers had a little cleaning rod sticking out of the bottom, but this one doesn't. So screw on cap, nice, well done. It's metal, no plastic on this pen at all. So yeah, that is the Via Sharbo SBS. I just wanted to do a quick scan and show everyone kind of what it was and what it looked like and give you some details. And if people like this video, I'll get into some more vintage pen coverage. I realize these things aren't that approachable, and just because I happen to find one of them doesn't mean everyone else can, so it can be a little bit annoying. Just if you want to write with this, there's really not much to see. It's a 0.5 millimeter pencil, and you can just use a standard lead. Turn it the other way, and we have a Zebra. This is the D1 size, but it's a 4C refill. I ended up putting one from Zebra in here. Zebra makes some really nice D1 refills. So again, 30-plus-year-old pen, almost a 40-year-old pen. I guess, more than a 40-year-old pen, depending on how old it is. I don't know the actual release date. It might be, I think this series started in the late 70s, like 1977, around there. But I don't know the exact date for this one. Anyway, 35-ish-year-old pen, brand new ink, writes perfectly, and great condition. Then the question is just, is it too nice to take it out of the house and use? For me, it's not. I like using this one a lot, but maybe if you're more of a collector, you kind of just leave these around and let them gain value. So that's it. Zebra Sharbo SBS. Thanks for watching.